Will I run out of money in retirement? It's a powerful question, and to help us break it down, I'm joined by two financial advisors, Chris Burns and Scott Gwatney, to tell us more about that. So it is a scary question, but a necessary evil to ask. Let's start with you. Why is this such a common fear?
Well, it's such a common fear is because from the moment you start earning a paycheck, that finish line is I'm going to get to retirement.
Sure.
And you build basically your whole being around that one day I'll get there. And then as you start to see that finish line, we actually have clients that want to keep pushing that finish line further down the road because they're unsure what happens when they cross that finish line, right? People are still retiring around the same age, but people are living longer. We very rarely sit down when someone says, hey, help me spend all this money in the next 10 years, right? It's like, hey, I want to make sure that the last 10 years of my life is taken care of.
Right. And that steady paycheck, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's a transition. So now I know that monthly income's not coming. We're either going to turn on a pension, we're going to have to rely on Social Security. And then what does it look like after that? So we sit down with everyone. I tell everyone, we can tell you financially, here's your expenses, here it is. Here, you can or can't do it financially. But to Chris's point, sometimes we keep pushing that down the road because we've been working since we were 15, 16,
Yeah.
18 for sure. And it's like this many years later, it's a huge transition in life that, most people only retire once.
And most people, when they do retire, they're in their highest net earning years. So they're like, we finally climbed this mountain. Now you're telling me to step off? Why?
It's very scary to face that head on. But so then how do you build that confidence, though, with your clients?
So one of the things that I consider myself a very visual person. And so what I like to do when we sit down is, first thing you got to be able to tell me before we even start to even want to build this plan for you is, what is retirement to you?
Like, what does it look like?
Exactly. Because I learned at a very early age in my career that I couldn't just say, Scott, you can't hunt and fish all day, right? Because I've got some clients that do hunt and fish all day. And now that I live in Florida, I got to add, golfing in there
And
too,
the
right?
beach.
But hey, guess what? Imagine if you're like, Chris, that's a home run. That's exactly what I want to do every single week. Okay. Let's put a dollar value to it. Let's attach inflation to it 5, 10, 15 years down the road, right? Let's see if there's going to be an income problem. Because the longer we're able to look down the road and then acknowledge the problem, the more tools Scott and I have to be able to bring to the table to fix it.
Right. I mean, expenses, you hear that. To me, I think that's the single most important number we get to is, what do our expenses look like now? Not just everyday expenses. What does it look like, living and going out, traveling? What about if we go to the beach? What if we want to start, fishing, hunting, and we haven't before? Once we start with expenses, to Chris's point, we can look out 10, 20, 30 years. And look, our plans, when you sit down with us and we put a plan together for you, I tell everyone it's written in pencil. It prints out in ink, but as life happens, as life changes, we're going to go ahead and edit that and say, okay, well, we didn't see this or think this 5, 10 years ago, but now this is where life has brought us. Let's sit down, let's reanalyze the income streams, the expenses, and let's make sure that we get you back on track, go into that end goal that we were looking for in the retirement.